Hey guys, how's it going? Dave, Anna here. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty excited about the Death Note movie that's gonna come out in the future. We know Adam Wingard, who directed Your Next, and The Guest is gonna direct it. And also, they have cast their lead already. It's, what is it, Nat Wolff?
Nat Wolff. Now, there's no word if they're going to call him Light. There's no word on really any of that, but they've described him, and it certainly sounds like Light.
Yeah.
So whether or not they name him that is totally another story. But now that we know that this is actually moving forward, which is super exciting, we decided, why don't we talk about who we would cast in some of the other roles? So we've got some ideas for you guys, and afterwards, we'd like to hear what you guys think.
Yeah.
So be sure to comment.
But first, you can listen to what we think. Okay, so with Nat Wolff being cast as Light, clearly they're not going for an all-Asian cast.
Yeah.
So I think that our choices are going to sort of reflect like an overall view, and we'll kind of see what happens. So first off, of course, we have to start with L. L is the man. L is the one who's always going after Light. Maybe the most popular, certainly one of the most popular characters. And I know for me, I want to go first because there's a person I always felt would be great for L, mostly because he's a guy who plays a lot of heavies, and that is Dane DeHaan.
Yeah.
I think he's a fantastic actor. I think he's creepy, which I think is perfect for L, because what's great about Death Note, if you ever saw it, is Light seems like the hero when it comes to the looks department, and L is all creepy and weird.
Yeah, I mean, Dane DeHaan is sort of the obvious choice, and that doesn't make him a bad choice. It actually makes him an awesome choice. He sort of has everything that you would expect to see from L, and I think he would do an absolutely phenomenal job.
Yeah.
So my suggestion is actually Ki Hong Lee. So, hey, look at that. Somebody Asian could be in the cast, but he's also completely awesome. You might have seen him in The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah.
You might have seen him in The Maze Runner.
Yeah.
And the fact is that between those two roles, you know that he is a really good actor because you wouldn't even realize that it's the same guy if I didn't just tell you. Well, maybe you knew, but
I had no idea. We had seen Kimmy Schmidt, saw Maze Runner, and I had no idea it was the same guy until he told me. He's really, really good. And I think another good choice, just because we're going to do three for this one, is Cody Smit-McPhee.
Yeah.
He's a good young actor. I think that he could definitely do the role. But for me, it's Dane DeHaan. You got to have him. Come on.
Yeah, Cody Smit-McPhee, though, I mean, he's got that sort of almost alien look, and that kind of works for L.
Yeah.
But, you know, they're all good actors. They would all make great Ls, and they would all give a completely different kind of performance as L. And I think, you know, I'd be happy with any of those. Not that we'd have any idea who they're even looking at.
Faux show. All right, next up, let's go to Misa. Of course, Misa is bubbly. She's one of those idols in Japan. She's a model. She's crazy as hell. Now, who are you thinking of casting in this?
One of my top choices is actually Amane Stenberg. You know, you might know her as Rue from The Hunger Games.
Yes.
One of the things about Misa is you need someone that has a resting smile. You know, when their face is at rest, they look happy and smiley, and that you could see them playing a really bubbly, happy, awesome role. She's also a really good actress.
Totally.
So I would love to see her as Misa.
You know, for me, I kind of would be interested in seeing Cara Delevingne, of all people. I mean, she's really interesting. She's got kind of a dark look, but when you see her in interviews and stuff, she's kind of bubbly and fun. And I think she would be a really interesting Misa.
Yeah, I mean, she has the experience as a model and stuff, so she knows that half of it.
And she's also done a movie where she played the love interest to Nat Wolff. In Paper Towns.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
so there
funny.
you go.
Yeah.
And also, if we're just talking about looks, there's a girl named Peyton List who looks exactly like Misa.
Yeah, I've even seen an interview with her where she's practically dressed like Misa.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird.
But I've never seen her act, so I can say she'd be good.
Yeah.
Next up, Ryuk.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Now, I think we're going with the idea that Ryuk is going to be a voice. Even if he's not CGI, even if they get someone like Doug Jones, they're probably going with a voice actor.
Yeah.
And you are the one, you know who you want to play Ryuk.
Absolutely. If I had my way, it would be Mark Hamill.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
You know, it would be sort of an alteration on his Joker voice, but I think his voice as Ryuk would be absolutely incredible.
I agree. I mean, the guy's iconic, and I think he would be amazing. I also really like Matthew McFadden. He's an actor from the UK. He stars in Ripper Street. He's got an amazing voice. And, you know, you need to have, like, a low voice, I think, and you also need to be able to have fun with it.
Also, you know, it really doesn't matter if the actor has an accent. Like, I think he would actually be really awesome with a British accent.
Yes.
So I think that would also be a great choice.
I also just want to say, I'm just going to jump in. I'm going to say Tom Waits, because he's basically the living version of Ryuk anyway. You'd have to do very little makeup.
It's
so,
true.
I mean, honestly, you could just stand there and you'd be like, ah! So it would work out perfectly. So, you know, even though this is probably going to only take place in like maybe the first volume, we're going to cast kind of further along too. And Rem, the Shinigami Rem we want to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, Rem, there is a good chance that Rem will show up if Misa's around,
yes.
but not necessarily. But I actually have maybe a strange one.
This is voice, right?
Yeah, voice still.
Yeah.
For the voice of Rem, I'd like to see Allison Janney. Like, you know, we've heard her do VO in commercials and stuff, but I would love to see her really have fun with a character that she voices. And I think her voice, it's kind of a little
Which is
lower.
funny because it's the most unfun role in Death Note.
It is.
Rem is like always like, can I die now?
Right, but it's not just standard like, let me tell you about health insurance, you know? So, what?
That would be interesting.
No, Allison Janney does VO and commercials for health insurance.
Wow, you know that. Wow. Yeah. You know all kinds of things. That's amazing.
Let's move on to Light's father.
Yes, so, Light's father.
Light's father is actually a really awesome character because he's the lead detective on the case. He's a very smart man, and he has a significant role in the story.
Yeah. Now, for me, I want to see Joel Edgerton. Part of the reason is because I think Joel Edgerton's amazing, but I think he would be great. And you know, once again, it's like we have Nat Wolff, who's a Caucasian actor, so it would make sense that his father would be Caucasian.
Well, I have a slightly different way of looking at it. Someone I like, Ian Anthony Dale.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
He's awesome. You know, he's been on things like Hawaii Five-0.
Yeah. Was he Scorpion in those Mortal Kombat
I think,
shorts?
I think he was. Yeah, he is absolutely fantastic. And you know what? He's actually half Japanese, which means that that would make Light, or whatever they call him, a quarter Japanese.
Done.
And that way, they could still call him Light Yagami.
Done. Love it. So there's a whole task force that's trying to find Kira that is working with Light's father. And I think that Touta Matsuda is one of the more sort of present ones. He's the youngest version. And we actually, who do you think should play him?
You know, I'd kind of like to see Oscar Chow. Because I love Kevin Tran.
Yeah.
Those of you who watch Supernatural know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's about the right age for it.
Yeah.
He
looks
got a
young
lot of energy.
too. Yeah.
And I think he'd be really fun in the role.
I agree.
Which they will probably call Todd or something. You know?
Totally. That would be amazing.
Now, for Naomi, I think an interesting choice would actually be Kiko Mizuhara, who played Mikasa in the Attack on Titan live-action movie. She actually speaks really perfect English.
Like, great English,
yeah. Because she spent a lot of time in America.
Well, she was born in America, and then she moved to Japan, but her father is American, so she speaks great English. She's very popular. I thought she was good in the Attack on Titan movie. Her character wasn't very good, but I thought she did a good job. I also think a really good choice would be Ria Fukushima. She was in the Wolverine. She's Katana in Arrow. I really like her a lot, and I think she'd be good in this role.
I agree.
And also, let's go with Ray Pember himself. Small role.
Small role.
But do you remember who you thought would be good for that? I'll tell you who you thought would be good for that. Diego Luna. From E2 Mama Tabien and other stuff that I can't remember, but he's good.
Yeah, and you know, he'd make an adorable couple with either of the girls we chose.
Exactly. Also, I think it's a small role, but Stephen Yeun from The Walking Dead would also be good.
You want to know why? Because no one wants to see him die.
I know.
And you will.
And it's going to happen like real quick. Spoiler if you haven't seen Death Note. But if you haven't seen Death Note, it'd be weird you're watching this right now. Let's get to Watari. He's the guy that is L's Alfred, essentially.
Yeah.
You know,
he's both his right-hand man and the guy that kind of raised him.
Exactly. And he's also the guy that's in control of the House of Young Detectives that Nier and Mello come out of. I think, you know what, I'm not even sure if he's white or if he's Asian or whatever in the anime, but I want Ken Watanabe. Just make it happen.
That would be awesome. Personally, I'd love to see Morgan Freeman. I mean, who do you trust more than Morgan Freeman?
That's
true. I don't know. I would just love that so much.
I mean, he's like the voice of God, like all the time. Even that Penguin movie.
Yeah.
There he was.
I believe that Morgan Freeman could raise young detectives.
I agree with that too. I mean, he basically gave Batman all his cool stuff.
Totally.
Where does he get all his wonderful toys? Morgan Freeman. That's where.
So like you said, you know, we're going a little bit into the future. Theoretically, they're only going to keep with like the beginning of the story, and so hopefully there will be sequels, because hopefully it will actually be awesome.
They're going to make a trilogy because Death Note is rad.
Yeah, well, that's how they should do it. But we're going to go into the future and sort of pick some of the characters that show up a little later. So, Teru Mikami.
Yeah, now this is a great character. He's the third Kira, I believe. He's the one that is the lawyer that believes in justice. He's a zealot. He's all about Kira. This is probably outside the bounds of possibilities. I want Chiwetel Ejiofor. He's so great. I mean, to me, he's played roles like this because, you know, Teru is a really interesting guy because he's trying to look out for people, but at the same time believes in Kira's twisted vision. And I think, you know, I think of like his character in Serenity, and sort of reminds you of this character a little bit.
Yeah, for me, I'd actually like to see Alex Malari Jr. He's not a very well-known name, but if you've seen the show Dark Matter, he's 4.
Yes.
His character in that, he's very like stoic, and I just think he'd be really, really good in the role.
Yeah, and he's scary too, which I think works out really well. All right, we got 2 left. We decided that we're gonna do Nier and Mello, even though it's so far in the future that it won't even be these guys. And really the only reason is because I think these 2 would be perfect. First off, we weren't gonna do Nier. But then I was looking at a list of young actors and I go, oh my God, there's a perfect Nier. It's David Mazouz from Gotham. The guy who plays young Bruce Wayne would literally be perfect as Nier. Because Nier's like 13 years old or something when he starts. And then they jump forward and I think he'd be amazing.
I 100% agree. Now for Mello, I think that Ezra Miller would work so well.
Yeah.
Like you said, by the time they actually get to those roles, they'll both sort of have aged out of it. But if they were to be doing them back to back, you know, all Hobbit style, then these guys would be perfect.
You could have said Lord of the Rings. You could have said Back to the Future.
Yep.
You said The Hobbit.
Well, that's the most recent.
Okay, sure. Why not? Okay, guys, that's what we think, but you know what? We don't know everything. What do you think? Let us know in the comments down below. Who do you think should be cast in the Death Note movie around Nat Wolff's maybe Light Yagami? Let us know.
Yeah, and don't forget, if you want to be a Vicer, check out the message boards, check out the wiki, and don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, bye. Oh, Anna, real quick, how do you name, what's your full name again? What's that again? I just need it, just for my own purposes, if you don't, what are you looking at me like that?